How's it going, guys? Peep is PBS Kid here. Yeah, so I never actually had cable growing up. I literally just lived off of PBS Kids. My boy Arthur and the Crap Brothers, the brother apparitions, bro, on God. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I never actually grew up on Nickelodeon. And from what I've heard, I don't think I've ever actually heard a good thing about Nickelodeon. Well, excluding like shows like SpongeBob, obviously. But this past week, Dan Schneider, one of the main writers for basically the majority of Nickelodeon shows, has become trending on Twitter. There's actually two reasons why. Number one, it's because of this documentary right here. This documentary basically just talks about the horrors behind kids' TV shows and how messed up it used to actually be. Like I said, I never grew up on Nickelodeon, but from what I heard, Dan Schneider put like all of his fetishes into like every Nickelodeon show possible, and it just made everyone super uncomfortable. You know what? I'm hopping into incognito for this. I don't need this on my feed. Oh god. Why would you ever post this? This is actually the worst social media post ever. And yeah, apparently he just fetishized everything. I don't want to look at this anymore, so I'm just closing this. But because of this interview, Dan Schneider actually responded to all the allegations. And the second reason why Dan Schneider is trending all of a sudden is because ever since this documentary came out, so much leaked behind the scenes footage of Nickelodeon shows started surfacing on the internet for the first time in like 2 decades. And it genuinely is some of the most uncomfortable shit you will ever watch. Before we continue, look at this ratio. 1.4 million views and you can only hit 11,000 dislikes. If anyone has a dislike counter for this video, please show me the dislikes, bro. I need to see this. And comments are turned off, no surprise.
Hey, it's Boogie. I played T-Bo on Nickelodeon's iCarly. I got a chance to watch the Quiet on Set program and I reached out to Dan to see if it was something that he'd be willing to discuss. I'm pleased to say that he said yes. Dan, how are you?
I'm okay. I really appreciate you reaching out and giving me the opportunity to talk to you about what we saw over the last.
Are those Air Max 90s, bro? God damn. He clean with it, bro. That's the Air Max 90 groomer colorway. It goes insane. All right, I'm getting kid away here, my bad.
Really glad you're here because I believe this is important.
For sure.
We've got a lot of things to unpack. But before I dive into my list of topics that I'd like to discuss, is there anything you'd like to start off with?
Absolutely. Watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult. Me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing and that I regret. And I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation. And even additionally, I apologize to the people who were walking around Video Village or wherever they happened, because there were lots of people there who witnessed it who also may have felt uncomfortable. So I owe them an apology as well.
Okay, obviously I'm not defending this dude. Dan Schneider's a messed up person. But at least he had like a mature response about this. Like he wasn't making some stupid excuse. But at the same time, he doesn't apologize until people genuinely start calling him out for it. And that's like the one thing that's so stupid. Why didn't he do anything about this like 2 decades ago? Back when it was actually an issue. Back when this could have been easily preventable. Maybe OSHA wasn't her thing or something. When was OSHA formed? Yeah, truth is this entire interview is just so annoying to watch. Him and Brian Peck traumatized so many actors and actresses, basically ruining their lives. And he didn't say a single thing about it his entire life until people actually started calling him a weirdo 20 years later. Dan Schneider needs to serve like a life sentence, like no exaggeration there.
Dan, talk to me about the writer's room. From what I saw, not cool.
No, and I don't mean to cut you off, but if I can cut right to the chase, let me just say, no writer should ever feel uncomfortable in any writer's room, ever, period, the end, no excuses. Most TV writers, comedy writers have been in writers' rooms and they are aware that a lot of times there are inappropriate jokes made and inappropriate topics come up. But the fact that I participated in that, especially when I was leading the room, it embarrasses me. I shouldn't have done it. And I can tell you why it hurts really bad for me. I remember very clearly my early experiences, my first experiences in the entertainment business. I was green, I was scared, I was excited. It meant the world to me that I was getting those opportunities. And I went in and I got lucky because they were great. My first couple of experiences were fantastic. And the fact that And the fact that I didn't pay that forward to every employee that walked through my door, it hurts my heart, because I should have. And I wish I could go back and fix that.
The only reason I'm annoyed with this video is because he's wearing a Rolex the entire time. I'm pretty sure that's a Submariner. Corrupt producer talks about child sexual assault while wearing a Rolex, bro. That's crazy. So now let's actually get into the meat and potatoes. Let's see what's been resurfacing on Twitter for the first time in like 2 decades. So I'm pretty sure this is the video that actually started this trend right here. It's basically on Miranda Cosgrove's birthday. You can see Dan Schneider just like holding her in like a really weird way to the point where she just gets super uncomfortable. Here, I'm just gonna let you watch it.
Look, honestly, in trying to figure out what I could say today about Miss Miranda for her birthday, I come to the conclusion that what you can say is, what can't you say? I mean, honest to God, I could go on and on about all the wonderful qualities about Miranda, but I know time permits, and I will consolidate it to just this one thing. In all the years I've known Miranda, I guess 9 years now, she hasn't changed.
I'm sorry, why was she in a headlock? You can see how uncomfortable she is in this video. Like, it's insane. Disturbing footage resurfaces of child abuser Dan Schneider in a hot tub with 16-year-old Amanda Bynes.
Hi, welcome to Today my special guest is the executive producer of the main show, Dan Schneider.
Hi.
Now, you're the executive producer of the show?
Yeah, I am the executive producer and I'm the head writer.
You actually wrote the words you're saying to them right now?
Yes, I actually wrote this whole conversation that we're having right now.
So you're telling me you also scripted you being in a hot tub with a 16-year-old? I'm gonna be frank with you, this doesn't look good on your resume. So yeah, honestly, this entire situation is just super uncomfortable. Like, I think Dan Schneider's like a huge pussy for only coming out about this 20 years later. But what are you guys' thoughts on this? Anyways, see ya. Boom!